Fair use, fair use. Uh, I want to stop and take time to talk a little bit about this legal decision that's made on Donald Trump. Uh, they're about to explain to you what I've been trying to tell you and what the Moors have been trying to tell us about our, excuse me, about the law, about citizenship and freedom and everything, all of that. Once you know these laws have already been set in place that we are free, we are protected under common law, God-given law. We're protected from anything any other nation can bring and set before us and say, hey, these are laws, you need to follow them. Right? So it's already set up. They know it. We just not enforce it. But once we become a nation, again, we can enforce it, right? Once we get our thinking right and say, hey, we're a nation, we enforce everything, all those laws that you made with our forefathers when you came in this land before you put us to sleep, after you killed them or after they died, or after hey, when you got the kids, you don't need the fathers and mothers when you raising those kids to be perfect, non-thinking slaves, right? So here we see Mr. Trump. Am I recording this? Yeah, I'm recording this. Here we see Mr. Trump, his decision to break the law caused this legal position on him. Let's look.
The developing story first, and a historic decision, another one. A big blow to former President Donald Trump. Turns out he's not immune to criminal charges for what he did as president, according to a new court ruling, because, and this is the key phrase, you see it here, the former President Trump, has become citizen Trump. Citizen Trump. That is the critical phrase here. The court then goes on to say that Mr. Trump has all the defenses of any other criminal defendant, I should say. TLDR, right now, he is no different than you or me or anybody else except for President.
So President Biden. No,
President Biden. We've all got the same rights.
Okay, you see, except for President Biden. But President Biden does not. If President Biden do what Donald Trump, I remember I was telling you guys, I'm like, Donald Trump is going to bust something. He's going to break it open for us to understand what the law is really about, and that these are legalese, or rather, exactly what we were saying. The law has been established in our favor. God-given rights, dominion over everything. That's for everybody. And that has been established in law on the earth. And if you say you are a human, if you are for humans, and you are for humans' rights, and you are the leader in morality and checking people on their morality, you know what the first rule of human rights is. Every man is created equal under God. Now, if you are treating somebody like that, then you cease to be able to stand at the gates and gatekeep morality on people. And we just got to wake up to that fact, man. So Donald Trump broke a law, his oath of office. He vacated his promise to not violate the rights of everybody else. In other words, he turned people against other people. So he violated the people by gathering other people, one part of the community, and turning it against another part. That's a crime. They can't do that. Police officers can't do it. Anybody that's under the oath of office cannot do that, right? They just can't do that. And for the purpose of this criminal case, former President Trump has become a citizen for the purpose of the criminal case. This is a criminal case. I'm not for the purpose. No, this is a criminal case which forces him into the status of just a regular citizen. So, and he still, And he's still, with his rhetoric, turning one part of the citizenship against the other. Talking about how he's going to be a dictator when he get in there and stirring up white supremacy and his base against the other half of the citizenship. It's supposed to be a democracy. It's supposed to be them that's for and them that are against. We're not for democracy, we're for republic, where every man rules his own world. We keep saying that word world so you can understand what it is. Every man is his own world. He controls his own world. God gave him dominion over the world. It wasn't talking about everybody on the earth at the same time and be arguing and fighting on who's the CEO and who's in charge, who's the king. No, that's the nations did that. They want to rule the whole world, everybody else's world. No, only the nations did that. That was not an intent of the Most High, that everybody be fighting over who would be the president or the king. That's wrong. How you gonna be a king over somebody else's world? That's wrong, man. So let's listen to this again.
It goes on to say that Mr. Trump has all the defenses of any other criminal defendant, I should say. TLDR, right now, he is no different than you or me or anybody else except for President Biden. We've all got the same rights. It means Donald Trump can go to trial. And the trial that would come from this ruling is arguably the most serious one he faces because it is linked to the federal charges he tried to illegally overturn the election and help spark the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Charges that carry decades of prison time if he's convicted. The Trump campaign's already promising to...
Wait. Remember I was telling y'all how much time that violating your oath of office and turning against the people of this land, who those Constitution protects, and he faces charges from the people here, which are the Moors. They know who we are. You know, if they say they brought us over here, they gotta prove it. They tell us we gotta prove it. No, you gotta prove you brought us over and said, meaning we under a visa with the United States. No, we're not United States citizens. No colored person can be. It's already set up in your bylaws. So therefore, you when you violate your oath of office, you assaulted all the citizens of America, the brown people, the copper tone people. You assaulted them. You brought harm to them. You need to pay all of us, Donald Trump. We need to file that lawsuit against Donald Trump because he assaulted all the brown people. All the brown people. I mean, you know, he turned his people with visa, the people he brought over here to live in our country with us in peace. He turned them against us and had them to step up and do violence in the house that belongs to us. That's not their house. They are in there running it. We build it. It's on our land. We don't sell our stuff to foreigners. They illegally got into government judiciary and claimed themselves government because we were asleep. They claim themselves trustees in government over sleep children. That's why they call us minors, minority, because we were asleep. We didn't know anything about government. No, I didn't care. We were just trying to survive the slave master. And that's after the Moors, the cherry tree was chopped down. That's after George Washington and that crew and white supremacy took over government. It was 9 presidents before George Washington. 9 black, Negro, mulatto presidents. Okay? So, yeah. So this is a good opportunity right here. I hope this video get watched. Let's see.
And they're giving a preview of how Mr. Trump will try to use this whole legal issue to his advantage on the campaign trail. And that is significant, right? What happens on the campaign trail, because by the way, if he wins the presidency this November, he might get those protections he wants, that immunity, he might get that back. We're going to talk about the politics of Von Hilliard in just a minute, but I want to start with the ruling and the legality of it here with Laura Jarrett. 57-page rule at the.
Now watch how they're going to spin it different from what the way I said. There's nothing going to be said like what I said. Watch how they spin it. Yeah, they're going to spin it back to they rule the world. They rule the world.
It goes at the merits of the former president's argument in depth. Talk us through it.
Yeah, and play by play, blow by blow, Hallie, it's a unanimous rejection of what the president was selling. And remember, if he had gotten his way on this issue, he would not be charged at all in this federal case. He would be that.
And he would have changed the meaning of the Constitution too. Remember, he said he's in there to destroy the Constitution. That means no respect. They don't have to respect us. That treaty they signed with us, that Constitution. They said the forefathers, it was an agreement with us that that we would not be at war with them if they keep that peace treaty, which is the Constitution, rights of indigenous people and human rights, common law. They have broke all of that by taking us into their courts, charging us under their fake laws. They owe everybody for that. We can charge them with that. For taking us in their courts and not explaining to us what our sovereignty was, and taking us into their courts and charging us harder penalties when they wasn't supposed to charge us at all for not keeping their laws. We have our own laws, they know it. They made a whole gripe about it in the Bible. Okay, let's go ahead and watch some more.
It would be completely off the table, completely gone. And his lawyers had essentially, I think, thrown this up as sort of a Hail Mary, hoping that it would delay things long enough. And to a certain extent, that has worked. I say to a certain extent, because the trial might still be on. It's just anybody's guess about whether it could actually happen before the next election in November, Hallie. Because as of right now, the trial date does not exist. Now, the former president can take this up to the Supreme Court. He doesn't like the D.C. Circuit's opinion. He says it's wrong. He says he's going to appeal it, and he can do that. He can go up to the Supreme Court, Hallie, but there's no guarantee that the High Court actually hears the case. Well, so pull that through.
Okay, and see, the High Court ain't supposed to. They talking about the High Court. That's they made the highest ruling right there. They ruled with the Constitution. Now, if the High Court changes that, then they will be in default terribly. And high courts never rule against the lower courts anyway, not on stuff like this. You know what I mean? They all stick together all the way up the line, especially when it's on subject matter constitutional. The question, federal question: is this a law? Is it not law? Can we charge this law on these national people without violating their constitutional God-given right? Can we make them, not run that red light sign? Stuff like that. They jumped on their neighbor with a gun. Can we hold them and detect? Yeah, anything like that. Violence to somebody else's world. All praises to the Most High. We're gonna stop this video.